potential
Her
contender.
last victory at UFC 237 over at Salita Bernardo was like knockout,
It
like
was.
not a TKO, like a KO.
Yeah,
And
it's
those
nasty.
are few and far between it in women's weight classes in general. So that when they happen, they really stand out, and when they do happen, it kind of catapults these fighters up the rankings. Not up the ranks, but even in the minds of the fans, because it's so unique to see another woman just like one punch KO another woman.
She was doing a lot of damage in, once again, pancreas. Yeah, you guys are missing out on pancreas. She was doing a lot of damage in pancreas before the UFC as well, so definitely not one to sleep on. Keep an eye out for Arja.
And let us know if we're having any other technical difficulties. I really apologize. Looks like we have another little break. So we are only waiting on Division, Figueiredo, Hakeem Dawodu, and I'm going to ask him to say it again, Marc-Andre
Barrios.
Marc-Andre Barrios. I butchered that name, but
Again, I probably am too, so don't worry about that. I'm doing what I can. And here he is. Here is Marc-Andre.
Marc-Andre Barrios.
Marc-Andre Barrios. And Division Figueiredo is right there.
Excellent.
So these weigh-ins are absolutely flying right now.
Oh, now you said it. Now they will come to a halt after this.
Well, after this one, we have Hakeem Dawodu.
And he will come at 5 minutes left remaining in the...
Could be. $184.5 for Marc-Andre Barrios.
Former champ at the TKO promotion at 185 and 205.
205 and 1?
Yes.
Wow. He must not have been a big 205.
No, he was not. Definitely not.
AK Lee is so gangster. There you go. Got a comment.
Thank you.
125, Davison.
8-ball Rocco.
Davison Figueiredo, number 4 ranked flyweight in the world, about to step on the scale. Why did Alexander Volkanovski weigh in? He's not fighting on the card. He weighed in as a standby just in case Max Holloway and Frankie Edgar could not make weight or one of them fell out. He was the possible replacement, but of course he will not be needed. Well, I would say that now. Fights have fallen apart after weigh-ins, but as of right now, he's not needed.
Got the towel here for Davison.
Like it here. Yeah.
126.
Isso. Boa.
Back on the scale, that will get stressed out.
He kind of roared there and then winced.
Yeah,
It's a tough cut, man. It's a tough cut. Oh, okay.
Tá forte.
Figueiredo made weight.
Thank you.
This has been a very stressful situation for people who needed we are very close to the side. We're not trying to get accidental slips. But Figueiredo looking to get back in the win column after suffering his first professional defeat to Jussier Formiga on that UFC Nashville card. Why they put Formiga versus Figueiredo in Nashville is beyond me. Two legitimate Brazilian flyweights fighting in Nashville when UFC 237 was also right there in May.
Yep.
Is beyond me. That also snapped his. Not only was it his first professional defeat, but he had won, I believe, 4 or 5 in a row. He had a TKO over John Moraga, TKO over Joseph Morales, has a win over Jared Brooks. So he's beaten legitimate flyweights. Just came up short to Formiga, and the only people Formiga's lost to lately are like Cejudo, Benavidez. So Formiga's, I think, one of the best fighters in UFC history never to fight for a championship.
Ever the bridesmaid, Formiga. You're talking about the booking in Nashville. I think we can agree that the UFC's booking of the flyweight division in general, again, we just said today, even his fight with Pantoja, that should be on the main card. With no disrespect to anyone who is on the main card, I really feel like they could have taken one of the first 2 fights maybe and put.
Well, I get
Pantoja.
what they're doing because they want that fight to be on.
Yes, the ESPN headliner.
Well, if I spoke with a lot of the fighters in the UFC Phoenix card, and that was the first ESPN card, and a lot of them said that if they were given the option, they would take the main prelim fight over the opening fight on the pay-per-view.
Once upon a time, I think I used to scoff when people said, "Oh, the prelim like the Fight Pass headliner or the preliminary headliner." But it's true. Now that they are on ESPN, and the fact that you're right, there is a chance a lot of people watch the ESPN and not necessarily buy the pay-per-view. It is a big deal to make that headliner. So I do scoff at it, but it's true. I understand that.
Favorite also when he fought Alex Caceres, I believe it was at UFC 175, was the featured prelim on FS1, and that was like really the first time a big name was on the prelim card, and everyone was, why are you on the prelims? Like, why wouldn't you be on the main card? And this was back before the Reebok deal, and he was like, well, I'd rather fight here. More people are gonna watch me. Demetrius Johnson always said he also loved fighting on Fox cards because he got the sponsorship money.
Can you name the first ever fight on first ever UFC fight on ESPN?
That was Nick Lentz versus, I can't remember. Oh, on ESPN?
Yes.
Oh, it was the Brooklyn card then.
Yes.
Nick Lentz was I'm thinking of the ESPN card in Phoenix.
I guarantee you can't, and I'll explain why. But you can take a guess if you want.
Hit me.
I have to look it up myself. I'm looking at it right now because I interviewed one of these gentlemen before, and I thought it was so wild. I'm sorry, Corey Sandhagen and Mario Bautista is historically the first ever UFC fight. That was supposed to be John Lineker versus Dominic Cruz.
Right.
Yes, and I think it was going to be the ESPN headliner, if I remember.
Right.
But then both guys fell out. One of them got replaced by Sandhagen. One of them got replaced by Bautista. So instead of, and actually, or maybe it was, I think maybe that was supposed to be the first fight ever. So instead of that two big names being the first fight ever on ESPN, it was two very good fighters, but obviously not, Sandhagen and Bautista not on the name level of Lineker and Cruz. Yeah, it's interesting. I remember I asked Bautista about it. I'm like, he was just like, it hadn't registered with him. He was like, it wasn't really originally booked for him, so it was kind of a strange thing to be proud of, I guess. But yeah, there's your trivia question for anyone. First ever UFC fight on ESPN, Corey Sandhagen, Mario Bautista.
Question: what weight class would you fight off at, and what would your welcome song be for one of our audience members?
For me, my weight, I think I could make. Actually, no, hold on. Maybe I'm thinking when I was a bit slimmer. I could make 145. I could make 145. I think I'd be a featherweight.
You guys are gonna look at Alexander's beautiful face.
Oh no, what's happening right now?
Very haggard, coffee-less face.
Is this actually happening?
This is happening.
Oh, this is
We're getting
happening?
a little bit of a break.
Okay.
As Hakeem Dawodu.
Sure.
Is taking a little bit of a break. So you get to look at us. And you can make fun of our coffee-less
Wait, why are we
faces.
not seeing us on the screen?
Well, because it's a delay, Alex. And
How much of a
this
delay?
is the master of technology.
Oh, sorry. TV magic. I'm sorry. The TV magic is still. I'm a writer.
The TV magic is who's talking. This is Jose Youngs and Alex.
And now you'll see. Oh, here we go. Now they'll see who's talking. Oh gosh, here we are. Hello, everyone. So we're on a delay. So anyway, 145. I would fight at featherweight. I think I can make it. I don't want to say how much I weigh now. I'm just saying I think I can make 145. And I would come out to the song. Obviously, I would come out to "It's Raining Men" to really get into my opponent's heads.
Oh, you want to psych them out?
I want to psych them out. Yeah, I don't want to come out to some. There's a lot of great songs, like hip hop songs, like even like metal that I come out to. But I really want to have those first few bars of "It's Raining Men" come out. Just have my opponent be like, I don't know what's going on.
I'd probably cut down to 155, or I'd be one of those fighters that doesn't cut weight. So I just
smart.
show up. So
Smart.
I would have all that,
That's smart.
all of my oxygen in my brain, as fighters routinely say, and I always ask them what that means, and they're like, it sounds good. And I'd probably come out to "Shook Ones" by Mobb Deep. That's
Like an actually hype song.
Or I'm a real big fan of "They Reminisce Over You" by Pete Rock and Seal Smith.
So what song?
"They Reminisce Over You" by Pete
Yes.
Rock and
Okay.
Seal
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
So that's probably one of mine too.
Damn. Old school.
We're still waiting.
Jose's
on-
old school.
Old school? That's 90s, baby. That's not that old
brother,
school.
that is. I hate to tell you, that's old school now.
The comment's about to light you up. For
No,
that.
if you ask people, look, I don't want to say how old I am, but that is old school now, sadly. I remember when I heard Nirvana on an oldie station once, and I was like, wow, what happened?
That song, they're like almost 30 years
That's the
old.
90s.
That was in 1990.
Sorry, I'm
We're
sorry.
still waiting on Hakeem Dawodu, Calgary's own, who, when I heard him, I heard a radio interview with him, and I thought it was Bret Hart talking. Because they both have those Calgary accents. And when I was young, Bret Hart was the only person I'd ever heard from Calgary. So when I hear anyone from Calgary speak, it just reminds me of Bret Hart.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There is a Calgary, Albertan accent, I'm sure. I won't try and do it. I won't try and replicate it. But that's interesting. Hakeem Dawodu sounded like Bret Hart.
In my mind.
I'm gonna have
Because
to
I
research
knew he
this.
was Calgary, and I knew he had a Calgary accent, and in my mind, everyone from Calgary sounds like Bret Hart. Because when I was 4 or 5 years old, that's all I knew about Calgary was the
Now,
Hart Foundation.
Professional wrestling
Stu
great
Hart's Dungeon.
Lance Storm always said he was from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. He is actually from Ontario, by the way. But he did train there, obviously, and he's billed from there. I would not say he has the Calgarian accent. He's kind of got his own accent, though.
Chris Jericho from Winnipeg.
Chris Jericho from Winnipeg, born in NY,
There you go.
but definitely a Winnipegger, born and raised, not born, Science says just where he was born, but certainly raised and claimed by Winnipeg. He claims Winnipeg his hometown as well, so love our Chris Jericho.
Whitaker versus Adesanya, who wins?
Say it again?
Whitaker versus Adesanya, who wins?
Man,
We're getting
you know
a
what's
lot-
funny?
We're getting some comments.
Yeah,
on
you know what's funny is I was one of the biggest doubters of Adesanya for the longest time.
Okay.
But I would say the last 2 fights really convinced me that I would pick him to beat Whitaker. Some people might say it's too much too soon, but I was late on the Adesanya bandwagon, and I'm making up for lost time now, and I'm saying I think he actually could become the undisputed champion.
Israel Adesanya, undisputed champion. I would favor Israel Adesanya simply because not only has he been active, he's been one of the most active fighters on the UFC roster in general. He's fought. He's been in the UFC a little more than a year. He's already fighting for an undisputed championship. He's already the interim champion. He's beaten. Is anyone going to argue he didn't earn his way to that? Beats Anderson Silva, beats Kelvin Gastelum, arguably one of the greatest title fights ever. And there's no argument, I think, from anyone that he won that fight.
Yeah, and
but
the thing
Robert
is,
Whitaker is another beast.
with a young fighter like Adesanya, it's almost better that it went that full 5 rounds, like you said, turned into one of the greatest title fights in UFC history, because a guy like him coming up, there's always questions like, oh, wait till he faces adversity. Yeah, he's cool, he styles in everyone, but he's got cute interviews. He loves anime. He's a nerd like Jose, and it's like, what's gonna happen when he actually gets into like a dogfight? And let me tell you, that was a friggin' dogfight. He did not like cruise through Gastelum. I think anyone who saw that fight will tell you, like, man, that you have to be as tough as nails to do what he did and come out on top. So there's no question his toughness, and whether he can win the title. Yeah, I mean, I think you could absolutely bet on him and not think it's like a long shot or anything.
Who would you favor? I mean, not who would you favor. What is the bigger rematch? Conor versus Nate or Conor versus Habib?
Ooh.
This is one. We've got 3 questions asking us.
I hope it's Conor versus Nate. I hope, like, as far as like I'm trying to speak, if I'm trying to think what are other people thinking, I hope it's Conor versus Nate. It's the more competitive fight. It's a trilogy bout.
Trilogies are always. I always favor trilogies.
You could argue that there was. I even think that there was more heat between Nate and Conor. Like, I know there was some raw stuff said between Conor and Khabib, mostly on Conor's side, but I still think that him and Nate are such natural rivals, and it's just so much more interesting that way. And that there's unfinished business. There's so much. There's controversy over the second fight. I had no problem with the verdict. I thought that McGregor won, but there's a lot of people who don't agree with that outcome. So that's unfinished business.
I would like to hear what the audience wants to know. What would you rather see?
Yeah, let us know, please.
Would you rather see Conor versus Nate 3 or Conor versus Habib 2?
You are the people. The people need to be heard, not us, Jose. The people need to be heard.
I spoke to Chris Simon yesterday. She said the people decide where fighters fight and what fights get made. I didn't straight up ask her what's next for her because she was getting a little annoyed over all those questions. So I asked her about all the fight promotions that she's fought for, Invicta, Strikeforce, UFC, and she said they're all a little different, but at the end of the day, her fans follow her, and her fans will guide her to where she fights next. So if the fans are making these decisions, you tell us what you want. You want Conor Nate 3, or do you want Conor Habib 2? We got a couple people saying hi, Esterlin. Esterlin says hello. The only people left to weigh in, Keem Dawodu. Casey, can you wave?
Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, good. It's good waving.
All right.
It's good. No, it's good.
Casey Leiden.
It's
you
great.
Got your wave.
It's good
audience.
waving.
I'm seeing a lot of Conor Nate 3s. I'm seeing a lot of Conor Nate 3s from our audience. Okay. And shoot us any questions. Edmonton related, UFC related. Casey, what about you? Would you rather see Conor Nate 3 or Conor Habib 2?
Oh, Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why would he
he's
fight
in on
Khabib?
Nate. He said
why
Nate.
Would he,
Someone
wait. Am I making money off the pay-per-view? Because if I'm making money off the pay-per-view, Connor.
Yeah,
Connor versus
well,
anyone.
Connor versus.
You had to choose.
As a fan of the actual sport, who actually likes MMA, of course, Connor should never fight Khabib unless he earns it.
Yeah, I'm also a big fan of trilogies in general.
Yeah.
So.
Dude, the fact that wasn't a trilogy the next day
Right.
is insane.
Right.
Like
Well,
they should
I'm
have been booked
still-
the next day.
It's ridiculous
how long
After
it
Connor Nate too.
Well,
you
I'm
know?
still patiently waiting for Shogun Machida 3. And it's been how long?
Ooh, unfinished business.
And it's been how long? I don't know. Like, just because you get 1-1. Or how about Matt Serra GSP 3?
Yeah, again, unfinished business. One of the,
Unfinished
two
business.
of the greatest welterweight champions of all time.
George St. Pierre wants to come out of retirement to fight Habib. Nope. Matt Serra, GSP, get back in there for a third time.
And then Cheetah Shogun 3 is gonna be headlining a Bellator card, or like a Ryzen show next year. Oh my gosh. They work with Bellator.
They do.
Where is
don't
Shogun?
hate it. Shogun, he just fought, I believe. I can't remember off the top of my head. He lost Anthony Smith. He knocked out Mark Hunt's teammate in the Adelaide card. I can't quite remember his name. Tyson Pedro? Is that his last fight?
I am hitting Wikipedia right now. This is hardcore
Is it
journalism,
Tyson
people.
Pedro?
Yes.
Bingo.
In a fight that a lot of people thought Pedro was going to take. I picked Shogun. I did not think Pedro was quite ready yet.
That was the same night as Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder.
Oh, okay.
So-
Tyson, you had some double Tyson action.
Yeah, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and also had Mark Hunt, Justin Willis, Mark Hunt's last fight in the UFC. And Junior Santos knocked out Tai Tuivasa.
Another, again, it was an interesting because I think they thought that both the up and coming Australian guys were going to step up because it was in Australian or New Zealand.
I think it was in Adelaide to be Australia.
No, it was in Australia. I mean, I can't remember if Pedro and Tuivasa are both Australian or.
I believe so.
Okay. Either way, Oceanic region. Sorry to lump you guys all together. I know that's the worst. That's such a North American thing to do. It's like, oh, Australia, New Zealand, it's the same thing. I know it's absolutely not the same thing. But yeah, I remember main and co-main that those guys. It was supposed to be, either one of them, like Tyson or Ty, was going to knock off one of these former champions, and it didn't. You can't count out. Don't count out the old guys, man. Don't count out the old guys.
Who is your GOAT? Who is the greatest fighter of all time in your mind?
I'm Canadian, GSP.
I just think George St.
What?
Pierre is the answer.
Yeah, what is
Casey?
there?
Greatest fighter of all time? We've gotten 2 questions about that.
Artem Lobov? He said Artem Lobov.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
is
you
the
can't hear him. He said Artem
What is the
Lobov.
criteria? As a promoter, Brock Lesnar.
He just said Brock Lesnar.
As a promoter, Brock Lesnar, Conor McGregor are clearly the greatest of all time.
Sure.
If we're talking prize fighting, greatest prize fighter of all time, greatest fighter of all time. I mean, you gotta go.
George made a lot of money.
Can I go on a rant?
George, it's easy, George. I mean, George isn't my favorite fighter of all time, but if you want, yeah, I get it.
Jose, can I go on a rant?
Go ahead.
We had a recent discussion on Twitter. I don't know if I mean like me and like 3 other people. Comparing NBA players to. I know. I might be the only. Hey, Ariel Helwani tweeted about it. All right. So, come on. This is a big deal. All right. And people are saying I'm not going to get in deep about it. People are saying, oh, who's the Michael Jordan? Who's the Michael Jordan of MMA? Now we know Travis Lutter is the Michael Jordan of Jiu-Jitsu. That is, you don't remember that?
Oh, right.
Goldberg,
right.
Mike Goldberg.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
I
a whole
do
reference.
remember that.
That's hilarious. Anyway, there is no Michael Jordan of MMA yet. MMA as a mainstream sport is how old? Like
25 years.
25 years, 30 years. I mean, how deep? If you want to go pre-UFC, if you're some hipster and
As
like,
a mainstream sport,
yeah. Even if you're kind of like UFC 1.
mainstream sport.
I don't know. What?
Wait, that's like saying like
Look.
go-kart racing is mainstream because it was a televised.
Gosh, why don't we just mic up Casey? Casey's got some takes today.
Where were all these takes during our A-side chat?
But okay, all I'm saying is, I know a lot of people like to say, John Jones is the GOAT, GSP's the GOAT. The sport is so young. I'm telling you right now, if it progresses as it should, though there's no guarantee given the nature of the business, 50 years from now, you'll have guys who are way better than John Jones, way better than George St. Pierre. That's my hope anyway. I'm optimistic the sport develops that way. And again, I love George St. Pierre, Anderson Silva, Fedor. If they're still the greatest of all time in 50 years, something went wrong. Something went wrong with the development of the sport. It's not an insult to them. It's like, but sports, every generation should get better than last, shouldn't it? So, I mean, they might be your favorite fighters ever and pioneers, but I love all these guys. But I hope someone surpasses them, all of them someday.
When does it stop though? Because you wouldn't say that for boxing. Oh, in 50 years, the boxers in 50 years are going to be greater than the boxers of today. Or kickboxing, you don't say kickboxers.
Depends who you ask.
Kickboxers in 20 years are going to be way better than.
Some people might. Some people might.
Hell no. the kickboxers of the late '90s and 2000s that was the best. Because
Again,
the sport,
Isn't he still fighting?
the sport. You're
That's what I'm saying. He's still fighting,
You're
though.
gonna get the best fighters when the money is there.
This is yes.
If there's more money in the sport, then
Yes.
you will get better fighters. If MMA declines and there's less money in the sport,
In case
you will
people-
get lesser fighters.
In case people can't hear Casey, he is making a good point that it depends on the money. Once the money reaches a certain level, you should theoretically be getting the best. But I mean, I look at any sport like, I watch the NBA a lot. I think today's generation of players, and I know people will disagree with this, today's generation of players are, I think, the best that we're seeing. And that's no disrespect to guys, again, like who I still put in the top 20, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. I still put them like the top 20. But I think a lot of the modern day guys, Kevin Durant will rank very highly when it's all said and done. And again, 20 years from now, hopefully someone surpasses him. But it's true, I guess at some point it does peak. I just don't think UFC has peaked yet. Casey was bringing up kickboxing example of like you could go look back and 20 years and those guys are still the best. And it's true. And again, maybe it peaked at that time. I just don't think the UFC has peaked, or at least I hope it hasn't.
Well said. Well said. So, but in your mind, George St. Pierre is the current.
And will never be surpassed.
Wow. you just completely contradicted yourself.
Yes, I did.
On that.
Yes, I did.
All right. Who
Yes, I
should Zabit fight next? I think the answer is Yair Rodriguez.
I think so too. What happened to the Ortega rumor?
Korean Zombies apparently.
But that's also just a rumor. Like nothing is confirmed yet.
Nothing is confirmed. Nothing is official.
Wasn't Ortega Zabit? Like I thought that would have been sick.
There was a rumor of that too, but I think Korean Zombie and him have been shooting barbs via social media right now, and I think Yair really wants that. Zabit, they were booked once before. They're both coming off impressive wins. Zabit beat Jeremy Stevens. Yair is coming off that. In my opinion, the 2018 knockout of the year might have been the greatest knockout I've ever seen. That back elbow.
It didn't win the Fighters Only award though,
Did not.
so
It did
how
not.
clearly it was not the greatest.
did
That doesn't mean it sound like I was pooping on Fighters. Fighters Only, we love you guys. We respect. We have the greatest respect for Fighters Only. I'm sorry, apologize. But it's I don't know why. Yes, it was nominated. I'm bringing that up because there was a Fighters Only awards, and Chris Cyborg getting knocked out by Nunez was the winner.
Also upset of the year, I believe.
And upset the year. I have a feeling maybe a lot of people didn't see. Maybe they just didn't see the Yair elbow for whatever reason. What was that? That was an ESPN.
That was
Plus?
no, that was a Fox.
Oh.
That was in 2018.
That's not good.
That was the 25th anniversary show for the UFC.
There is,
maps and everything.
yeah. I hope it got. I can't remember the ratings numbers, but I hope a lot of people saw that.
That was
That's an all-timer.
that was Cerrone Mike Perry. That was the weekend Mike Perry said I was friendly.
Almost like, huh?
That was Mike Perry said I had friendly hair that week.
And you guys became best friends.
Yeah, apparently. So, Cejudo versus Faber? Question mark.
Sure. I mean, is it the best fight they should make for Cejudo? No. There's like five. There must be like 5 or 10 other people who are much more.
Well, if you want to get sent Uriah Faber's take, you can check out the last episode of the
Yes.
A-Side live chat MMA fight. Uriah Faber stopped by for an
Yes.
entire hour and talked about everything that you guys asked him. One of my favorite A-Side live chats. I think everyone enjoyed it. He really wants to fight Uriah Faber. He said he'd rather fight Henry Cejudo, who does things fair and is a upfront champion, is a good champion, rather than fight a scientist like TJ Dillashaw.
And how long do we have to wait to fight TJ?
It's 2 years retroactive, correct?
So at least a year and a half.
Yeah,
Just
I
wait.
believe.
Yeah, because the fight was in early January, so it's at least 2.5, at least a year and a half before the fight happens.
And Uriah, obviously that's a money fight for Uriah. If he keeps, even if he doesn't keep, say he comes up short. So if he fights Henry Cejudo and he comes up short, if TJ Dillashaw comes back, that's still the fight to make.
Yeah, there's still, assuming Faber still wants to continue. Friend of the show now, Uriah Faber, who, sorry, I don't mean to disrespect him by saying there's other contenders, but I think it's reasonable to say that. But like I said, I also would have no problem with that fight being made. So we thank Uriah for coming on. I think he is probably by far the toughest A-side chat partner you've had with respect to Brian Kelleher. You had Brian Kelleher on, right?
Yes.
So with respect to Brian Kelleher, I do think Faber is the toughest. And Pete Carroll, of course. But I would put
fans
love PT, but I would put, as far as who would win the fight, I'd put Faber up here, Kelleher just below him, PT just below Brian Kelleher. I'm way down. I'm not even on the. I wouldn't even.
What about Casey was on the live chat once?
Yeah.
We're talking about who would win a fight.
What about
all
Casey?
The A-side guess.
What about Casey?
Oh, who went?
I think Uriah Faber is a good bet.
Number 1.
Yeah, so Uriah,
Brian
Kelleher, me.
Casey does train.
Yeah, I train UFC, bro.
Pizzi?
But PT's loco.
See?
PT's loco though. He's a
I
wild
figure
card.
He's a biter. I like it.
Look at this.
Oh, who's this? Oh, he's on camera.
Yeah.
Are you? I don't think you're legally allowed to be on camera.
Sit back there. Sit back
This is a breach. This is a breach.
Stopping by?
I apologize to our viewers for having to deal with that. That won't happen again. What do we got? Oh, I thought you were. I'm done talking about what just happened. I don't want to talk about that
How long
anymore.
is Thiago Santos out? For a while. He just posted that he's still. It hurts for him to walk.
Oh yeah,
Let
so
alone stand up.
our own Guillermo Cruz posted a video and an update on poor Thiago, who had surgery on both his knees, and he's up there in age. So you want to talk about leaving it all in the cage? If he never gets a title fight again, he has nothing to be ashamed of. That was, you left it all out there.
Mark Raimondi back here. See the
Why'd you
delay.
say his name? Why did you say his name?
Because he is a fine, upstanding.
He is a fine,
journalist.
yes.
He
He
might
is.
not be with us in employment, but he's with us in
He
spirit.
might not be a particularly interesting person to be around, but as far as his work goes, exemplary.
The comments love
100%.
it. They all want to see more Mark.
Oh my God, they are. It's lighting up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Mr. Hollywood. Yeah, that's if people are calling Mark Mr. Hollywood,
You know
I
he's
hope
made
that
it.
sticks.
You know he's made it.
I sincerely hope that sticks. What happened to Dawodu and Frota? Dawodu's the only one left to weigh in.
Frota
right?
made it, guys.
Frota
Yeah,
made
I
it.
know.
Everyone has made weight.
I know
The
people-
only one we're waiting on is Dawodu.
I think Frota was one to watch again. I think we mentioned before, she missed weight very badly for a strawweight fight, but she's moved up to flyweight for this one. She didn't look like she had any problem. Looked much, much healthier, thank goodness. So yeah, Frota made. We're just waiting for Dawodu. Yeah.
Calgary's own.
Calgary's own.
A very elite level striker.
Technically outstanding. So, but I want to see that extra. I want to see that, as Dana White would say. I want to see that killer instinct. That was more of Vince McMahon. Than
So would
Dana.
he get the contract in Contender Series then?
Let me think. Let me look. Honestly, for his last fight, it wasn't like.
Who should James Vick fight first at welterweight? Maybe Carlos Condit? Question mark. That's a tough fight for both.
I
of them, right?
almost hate.
I would favor obviously Carlos Condit, but I favored him against Michael Chiesa too, and Michael Chiesa submitted him.
I almost hate like throwing two guys who are on such kind of in slumps into a fight. I know some people say, "Oh, that's reasonable matchmaking. You put winners against winners, you put losers against losers." But gosh,
What about Diego Sanchez? He's fighting a lot of these young guys coming up.
that would be so weird looking, Because
Who should James Vick fight first at welterweight? This person's judging Carlos Condit, like similar to the Michael Chiesa vein when Chiesa went up in weight.
You know, I kind of like that. I kind of like Vic Condit.
What about Sanchez? Diego.
Nah, I like Condit better.
Condit?
Yeah.
So Condit, James Vick?
Yeah.
It's a winnable fight for both
so good
fighters.
suggestion. The Condit suggestion.
I like the Condit.
Casey approves.
That makes sense.
And
Yeah. I hate everything.
If
I
you
approve.
know Casey, Casey likes one thing, and that's spinach smoothies, a good, I don't know, razor,
Yeah.
and that's about it.
And his, I was gonna say, and his mustache, but you said razor. Okay.
Oh, so my boo-boo, when I messed up, when Cyborg came at 146, it was just shocking because I've never actually, it's been since Invicta 5, when Cyborg made her Invicta debut as a non-title fight. It's the last time she had come in at 146.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So-
because their other previous fights
Catch
were like
weights.
140.
Yep, catch
They're
weights.
140.
Yeah.
So those aren't featherweight fights.
Right.
And everything else after that has been title fights at 145. So
Right.
hearing Cyborg at 146 was kind of shocking to my brain.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't. Did
Your
people-
brain just
did
shut
are,
down.
are you hearing yourself on the stream? Are you making it through?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted people to hear that. That fact was amazing. I want Casey to get the credit he deserves.
It shocked my brain when I heard 146. So that's what it was.
You're right. No, it's true. The catchweight bouts in the UFC until the title fights, which were 145. So
Alex, can you go fight Mark?
Mark is like.
Mark's got biceps. Have you seen Mark's
has
biceps?
Can I say what we call him? His wrestling analog? For people might not get this, but he's the Tomohiro Ishii of.
Tomohiro Ishii.
Yeah. So anyone who doesn't know, Tomohiro Ishii is a very.
Pitbull of
The Stone
MMA,
Pitbull is a Japanese wrestler. He's a very powerful man, and I think Mark Raimondi is trying to become him. So.
Oh, and someone says they'll pay £5 if they fight and me versus Casey is the co-main event. I would get destroyed.
I gotta find out what a quid
That's
is.
funny.
Yeah, but Casey just wants to scrap. He's not in it for the money.
Right now.
right now.
Right now.
He just wants to scrap, guys. Who's it? Romero or Costa? Who you got?
Until Romero
I'm-
actually proves he's old, which he should win, but because eventually he has to actually perform old. And I know he is old,
Right.
but perform old.
I'm such a Bohachinha supporter. I know he doesn't like to use that nickname anymore, but I like saying it. I'm such a Bohachinha supporter, but he's not ready for Romero yet. Romero, it's like Casey just said, he's still like a top 3 middleweight. Some people might say top 2, depending how you thought the Whitaker rematch went. But I don't know if Costa has the skills to beat Romero yet.
Someone says, Casey, I'll give you 1 quid to slap Alex.
I don't know what a quid is.
It's
I'm from
American,
pound.
so that's a lot in Canadian
what's a
dollars.
pound?
A pound. That's like 50 Canadian dollars.
I believe in freedom
One
dollars.
British pound is about 75 US cents.
Oh, okay. I was about
Wait,
to
isn't it?
Oh, sorry, $2.
It's the other way. It's the other way. Yeah, it's the other way. Yeah, and thus like $5.
My angle is bad on here. I don't like this angle.
as soon
as she said 75, you were like,
He already slapped me earlier with his wave, whatever that was.
Well, now there are more shots at the Prime Minister.
someone's asking if Cyborg weighed in. It's not on the stream. We had a little technical difficulty, so we have to
Yes.
restart the stream. But
Apologies.
Cyborg made
We'll have a
146.
clip of Cyborg coming out soon.
We will have a clip of Cyborg weighing in. Everyone has made a weight. She weighed 146, which was, as Casey pointed out, her first time since her Invicta days.
And
that she-
her Invicta debut in 2013.
in
6 years ago.
2013, 6 years ago, she made her Invicta debut and weighed in 146 pounds.
And every time before that with Strikeforce was besides when she missed weight, but
Sure.
they were all 145 title fights.
Someone has bumped up the offer and says, "I'll give you 3 quid to give Alex a 3-piece in a soda."
I mean, as long as we split it, 1.5 quid each, I'll take that. I'll take that.
I have to work.
Someone just says, "I'll give you $10."
Just give me money. Just give me money.
USD?
with nothing, like they're not offering anything.
Oh, I'll just give you-
I'll
well-
give you $10.
I like that guy.
I like,
that lady.
shout out to Rocco. He's
Huh?
on, Rocco said, "I'll give you $10."
What? 8-ball Rocco, didn't he also? He had a great comment earlier. Now he wants to see me get smacked up?
I guess so.
I think it's more about not liking you, Alex.
Oh, that I understand. That I'm used to. Yeah, that I'm used to. I'm not worried about that. Let me say something while we're waiting for another hot question to come in about 3-piece in the soda. Listen,
Hit me.
I know people love. No, look. No. It's nothing against the catchphrase is fine. If you give someone a 3-piece in the soda backstage, okay, listen. I know fans of Masvidal and his management and everyone's like, oh, he already beat Leon Edwards. Ha ha ha. He marked him up backstage. You got to follow up on that and actually fight him. I don't blame them for going for the McGregor fight or whatever, a title fight. That's just good business, And if they get that, very smart move on their part. But for them to say that the Edwards fight is like beneath them is absurd.
Casey is just perplexed by your response.
Casey, go ahead. Casey, speaking to my mic. What do you got to say?
Why? We already saw the fight. We saw it for free. Why?
Oh my God.
We saw it for free. We got a bargain.
Hashtag MMA fan over here.
We got a bargain. We got a bargain. Had great color commentary from Lorosenko.
Yeah, he got a bargain too. 3-piece in the soda. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
He got a bargain too.
And Lorosenko, let's give credit to Lorosenko for calling that fight the best you could ever call it by just saying, "Oh shit."
Yeah, Sanko does it all. All right. Make sure you watch her work in the Contender Series. All right. Sanko does it all. All right.
Casey is the man.
Oh, we
the
knew that.
8-ball
Well, that we knew.
Robbie or Colby?
Robbie.
I slightly favor Robbie.
Robbie.
He's proven that.
But it's one of those things though. Eventually Robbie's age is going to get him.
100%.
And like injuries got him in the RDA fight. Of his knee buckling like that.
And then the odd finish in the Askren fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Eventually, he's gonna get old, and so if that happens, yeah, Colby should win. But if I'm going Robbie at his best versus Colby at his best, Robbie.
He's historically proven that he can negate a lot of Colby Covington's
Oh,
strengths.
is he fighting at the Prudential Center in Newark? I think the last time he fought there was Scott Smith and.
Oh my God, we were just talking about that.
Whoa!
Yeah.
What a pull!
Elite XC prime time.
What a pull, this man.
The co-main was it the co-main? I think it's the co-main event for the first MMA show on Network TV. Ended in a no contest from my iPoke.
Oh, I do remember that
And
now.
it was a great fight until that iPoke.
Yeah,
Scott Smith, the comeback kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
The comeback kid.
Louder.
DC or Stipe?
Gotta go DC.
Yeah, I just favored
Gotta-
the favored the champ.
but
not won by knockout
I've said
the
this
first
actually
time.
multiple times now. With Romero, with Lawler, and DC.
They have to prove
Eventually, DC will be old.
Yeah.
And he's gonna look old. I don't know if this is it. I think DC is smart enough not to put himself in there being old, but I don't think it's gonna be as quick a fight, but I still pick DC eventually.
Also, it's a high-level heavyweight fight. I mean, with two guys who have legitimate power. So I mean, Stipe hits as hard as hell. So to bet against him is crazy. But I mean, I would.
But no one's asking me. But Francis Ngannou is the best heavyweight in the world.
Oh wow!
Hot take,
Can
Casey.
we,
over
again,
here.
just in case anyone missed that, Casey.
Before you get into it, I do want to say people are asking why the weigh-ins haven't started. We're only waiting on one fighter,
Yes.
Hakeem Dawodu. Rather than just have you look at an empty scale, we figured you'd rather look at us, maybe.
Yeah, look at us, make fun of how we look, how we're dressed. I know you guys love that stuff, so please have at
I
it.
know the YouTube commenters are very nice. They're very nice gentlemen.
Casey, I know you have some thoughts on this. I would love to see Ryan Hall versus Brian Ortega. I know you're on record, and that's what I'm saying. I know we've had this conversation where you want to see Ryan Hall against Jeremy Stevens, and you think like people after Ryan Hall's last win, people are saying Chrome, people are saying Charles Oliveira, and you don't want to see an elite jiu-jitsu versus.
It's just boring.
Exactly.
To me, it's boring.
It's not mixed martial arts. You want to see a lot of
now,
things.
eventually, if Crone and Ryan Hall keep winning, and that fight actually makes sense ranking-wise, then yeah. But until then, like right now, like Ben Askren and Maya makes sense right now. It didn't make sense, when Ben's first two fights, but it makes sense now, and that's why it's a great fight to make. And like Ryan Hall versus Kron, that fight's always there. It's always gonna be cool to Kron. Apologies.
We butchered so many names today. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And Kron was so nice because after he won his first fight, he gave me a little snow cone. I was like, oh, ice cream. Yeah.
Casey just said.
But Ryan Hall versus Jeremy Stevens is the coolest fight ever. Just think of the build-up, the countdown show, just Jeremy Stevens like.
I think it might be like the Maynard fight though.
No. You think Jeremy Stevens is gonna fight like Ray Maynard?
I don't know if anyone thinks they're gonna fight the way they think they're gonna fight when they get in the cage with Ryan Hall.
The intimidation factor.
It's not even intimidation. It's like
that's
it's like a magic spell or something. There's no one like you just said. Ngannou is the best heavyweight in the UFC. I think Ryan Hall is the best best featherweight in the UFC. I just said, boom, boom. That's supposed to be a mic. I'm gonna eat that later. No, I'm exaggerating, but honestly, if you told me that Ryan Hall could beat like anyone in the top 10, maybe outside of whoever the gentlemen who are fighting tonight, I'd believe it. There is no one like this guy.
I think he will run into problems when he hits those Ortega.
Of course.
But I think everyone runs into problems. Even Max. I mean, it wasn't like he just rolled me. He eventually dominated him, but it was competitive until it wasn't, in a sense. But but Ryan Hall, up until those top guys, we don't know yet. But I think against 5 through 10, I think he has a very good shot.
Yes, I don't know. This guy should be bigger. I think it's weird for me. I think a lot of he's quirky. I think a lot of the Just Bleed crowd might not like him. But if you're one of those people who says, "Oh, I miss the glory days of UFC 1, 2, like the outlaw days," this guy is a throwback to those days of guys who had one crazy specialty that other people couldn't deal with. I'm not saying his fights, again, the Gray Maynard fight, whatever, it was a weird fight, some people don't like it. I thought it was fascinating, but I'm not telling people they should have to love it. But I mean, his last performance was freaking awesome.
Our YouTube comments have rapidly fallen into a flat earth conversation.
Are you telling me people don't want to wait for
Hakeem Dawodu? Well, I think it's because Chrome Gracie was on record saying something about the earth being flat. And as soon as we brought up Chrome Gracie, it just spiraled into a flat earth conversation.
There it is.
That's Esther Lynn wondering about why our YouTube commenters are discussing why the earth is flat or not. Someone says the mat is flat. That's all that matters. Well said.
The what is flat?
The mat is flat.
Okay.
I bet, oh gosh. Eric Koch, gang, all right.
For people who don't know, we were kind of talking about Eric Koch's history before. Let's elaborate on that a bit. So I thought, again, I also made the mistake of thinking he was old. He's only 30 years old, which would make you think he's like in the midst of his career, but he's been around for a while. He's from the WEC days, and he was really rising through there. So immediately once they got absorbed by the UFC, he was pegged as a guy who's going to be like, oh, for sure he's going to be a contender. And I don't remember if his first fight was. I'm having to do research here on the fly. I'm not a Eric Koch expert, but I do remember his story just being absolutely fascinating. So he was supposed to fight Cub Swanson. I'm just looking at this list here. He missed out on that fight. Swanson missed with an injury. He knocked out Rafael Sunsao. That's a huge win.
Yep.
Are you reading that right? Hold on. Yes. So this guy was absolutely living up to the hype. And then at some point he was supposed to fight Jose Aldo. Twice, it looks like. He was supposed to fight Jose Aldo. And injuries, one was Aldo went out, one Koch went out. And just like that, you go from being a potential main eventer, win or lose, having at least on the record that you did main event, you did challenge for a UFC title, and now I think just people forget that. Now suddenly he's fighting in a welterweight bout in Edmonton on the undercard. And what a strange turn of events for him. And again, only 30 years old. I kind of like his chances to win. My colleague James Lynch said he's a little worried. He thinks that the injuries and inactivity. He doesn't know where Koch is as a fighter now. I think he's leaning towards Kyle Stewart, but I like Koch's chances, and I'm a sucker for a redemption story. I hope this guy can turn things around and has a good second half to his career, however much time he has left. So I'm sentimental.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said, sir.
Yeah,
Someone asking if we'll be in Anaheim next month. Casey, Esther and I will be in Anaheim.
Yes.
AK will be up here in the frozen tundras of Canada.
I'll be holding it down up in Canada as always.
Who should the winner of Tony Ferguson or who should the winner of Dustin Poirier versus Khabib fight first? The answer is Tony Ferguson.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Tony
I don't know why I
Ferguson
thought
should
about
not
this.
fight anybody besides the reigning UFC lightweight champion.
Do you think Tony Ferguson is the best lightweight in the world?
I can't say that yet. I know our former colleague, or still our colleague, but former coworker, Sean Al-Shadi, is on record saying he thinks Tony Ferguson is the greatest lightweight who's ever lived. I really think I need to see Tony fight the winner of Dustin versus.
Only way to know.
I think Dustin, Khabib is obviously great, but I think Tony and Khabib are the two best lightweights in the world ever.
Yes.
I think they're the two best lightweights ever.
Yeah.
And
I
the
don't think
winner
that's
of
a
that
stretch.
should be considered the greatest lightweight who ever lived.
Come at us, McGregor fans. You heard it. They're out there. They heard that comment. They were not
Casey's
happy.
looking puzzled by mine.
Is Tony Ferguson the best lightweight right now?
I would say Khabib for sure.
Right now, because
Yeah.
he's champ, he's undefeated.
Well,
I mean,
undefeated,
I can't argue with you.
undefeated,
Can't argue with
dominant.
you.
Never lost.
He's never been.
Never lost.
Has even been in danger in a
Tyson
round.
Tebow was a very close
That's the one
fight.
people always bring up.
Yeah, was he ever in danger though? That was just a stinker of a fight. That's why I go with Khabib. Tony might be pound for pound maybe the most exciting lightweight ever, possibly with him and
Yeah.
Gaethje. Oh my God. Okay. Hot take.
I know exactly what you're about to say. We've had this conversation many a time off air.
Gaethje versus anybody?
Gaethje versus a wall.
Yeah.
That'd be an amazing fight.
People were like high-fiving. Like everyone were like, "Oh, Gaethje Cerrone." Dude, Gaethje versus a wall would be awesome. I would watch 15 minutes of Gaethje just running into a wall, and it would be super. It would be awesome.
And I would pick Gaethje to win.
Yeah. It'll be a back and forth match, but he'll be the first person to defeat the wall.
Yeah.
So that's my thing about Gaethje. It was like, oh, Gaethje Cerrone, Gaethje Diaz, Gaethje everything. Yeah, dude, Gaethje versus anything
Fill in the blank.
is awesome. That's all.
Gaethje versus Ryan Hall.
That'd be sick. That'd be sick.
Casey's
That'd be
mind's
the
like,
weirdest
what do
fight
Yeah.
ever.
I mean,
Oh,
obviously
God.
you have a size issue, but
Yeah.
But
But that doesn't matter with Ryan Hall, though, I feel like.
Ryan Hall he's not that big a 45er.
No.
Like, yeah.
No.
He's going to be small.
And he fought him. He won tough and 155.
He did.
He went to, yeah.
But going back to the original question, if they never try and book Khabib and Tony Ferguson again, it'll be a tragedy. I know I was like, oh, but it fell out so many times. Again, as someone who is staunchly, as someone who doesn't believe in jinxes, it doesn't matter how many times you've booked it before. If they get injured, they get injured. Whatever happens. But don't use because it's a snake-bitten fight as an excuse to not try and book it. Just try and book it again. Whatever. It would break my heart, but if it fell through again. But you have to do it. It would be. Would it be the most high-level fight in UFC history? Khabib and Tony?
I don't know. That's tough. Like in
Okay.
terms of like skills, because
Yeah.
I said the same thing when TJ fought Dominic Cruz.
Yeah, and I would say that was up there for sure. And at the
In
time, that
terms
might
of,
have
like,
been.
high level skill sets. Casey, Justin Gaethje versus a walrus.
Walrus.
Yo, those things aren't in the
Like
best
a
one.
fully mature, trained.
Oh,
Yeah,
good
we-
question.
we
Good
have
like,
question.
like
How
walrus
trained?
in camp walrus.
Yeah.
In camp walrus from Angus Swain.
Wait, are you
Yeah.
allowed to kick a walrus? Is he always considered down? I'm not sure.
No.
Does he have knees? Do they have knees?
No, the walrus is not downed. Both flippers have to be down for the walrus to be considered
Everyone
down.
is just saying no. Just no.
We're not promoting walrus abuse, okay? Don't set up fights with walruses, all right?
Not walrus abuse.
No, don't. Yeah. I know you're right. I know there's some promotion out there that's that's like scratching their chins right now. Don't do it.
Gaethje versus Tony might be the greatest fight ever. Yeah, but Gaethje's fighting Cerrone, which is still a crazy fight.
And it's not a lock for. I mean, I think if you ask me right now, I'd pick Gaethje. It's
I'd
not a
pick
lock.
Gaethje too.
It's not a lock. Dad Cerrone he's on another level.
Lobov versus Miles Jury is the highest level fight. Lobov versus
Why?
Stone
Why bring Miles Jury into this?
I don't know.
That's a credit to him. I'm just saying
Yeah.
why. It's, he's main eventing a Bellator show soon, so that dude's he's still got it.
He's still going through. There's been a lot of comments over a possible trilogy fight between DC and Jones. Would you want to see that?
Of course. Oh, I would never be.
At heavyweight or light heavyweight?
Ideally at heavyweight, but if DC for some reason decides to go down to, I don't think he would want to or should. But
I think DC said he would want to fight Jones at light heavyweight just because they have unfinished business there.
yeah, and if the money's right.
Yeah,
look,
well,
if that's,
the
if that's
money's
the only
gonna-
way to make that happen, you
The
gotta
money's
go.
the only way that fight ever happens.
Yeah. But yeah, why would you? I'd want to see them fight 5 more times. I have no problem with watching those guys fight over and over again. Yeah. But their first fight wasn't like super exciting, but still, just the tension, from having 2 guys that skill fighting is always going to be good.
What's next for Dylan Danis? I don't know as for an opponent, but Pizza Carroll, we were on the A side. When he was on the A side a few weeks ago, said he really wants Dylan on the Bellator Dublin card. He thinks he would be a big star.
Yeah.
He thinks he would be a really big star. So for who, I don't know, but for when, I tend to agree with Pizza on. I think he should get a shot on that Dublin
Are
card.
they really asking who should he fight? Was it who you said?
It's what's next.
Oh, what's next? Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, opponent-wise, I assume they're gonna keep lining up people we've never heard of. No disrespect to his previous opponent. Was it Max Humphrey? I think was his last opponent.
I cannot recall.
As far as any of you know, Max Humphrey was his last opponent.
Yes.
yeah, thank you. Esther just chimed in and confirmed. So we don't know who he's going to fight next. I like the plans for Dublin, but yeah, keep bringing him along slowly. Love him or hate him, he's a personality. We're talking about him. People are asking questions about him. So just keep giving him opportunities to shine, and who knows? Maybe by the time he gets matched up with someone legitimate, maybe he'll be ready for it and actually succeed.
And more people asking when. A lot of people are also asking about the weigh-in stream, so I'll say it again. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty,
Yes.
so the last stream came
Yep.
down. But cameraman extraordinaire Casey Leiden is putting the clips together for our social media of all the fighters weighing in. Every fighter's weighing in except for Hakeem Dawodu. Every fighter has made weight. We're literally just waiting on Hakeem.
Yeah, we will have highlights of the weigh-ins also on MMA Fighting, on YouTube. You
at
will.
MMAfighting.com on Instagram,
Yes.
at MMA Fighting on Twitter.
So don't worry, you will not miss out on any of the most exciting part of the week, weigh-in action. It will be there for you at your fingertips, just with a slight delay.
This
so
is
thank you for
very
your patience.
reminiscent of UFC 238 when all the weigh-ins flew through and we were waiting on Jessica I. Right?
This is reminiscent of every UFC weigh-ins now, where they.
UFC 239 was fast.
That's right. They were.
They were very fast.
How fast were they? How fast would you say? Like an hour? Under an hour?
They were probably like right an hour.
That's like the first, but that's like the exception that proves the rule. I feel like that's the first time where they actually.
This one been like maybe the shortest weigh-ins ever, except for one.
Yeah.
We were going record pace, but that's how it is.
Can I read out this tweet from Errol Helwani? Is that allowed?
Yes. Go
Okay.
for it.
Ariel Helwani just tweeted what Alex Volkanovski, who made weight today, by the way, as a potential replacement should something have happened to Holloway or Edgar. And this was his journey. He did 37 hours to get to Edmonton. He drove from Auckland to Sydney, flew from Sydney to San Francisco, flew from San Francisco to Seattle, drove from Seattle to Vancouver, flew from Vancouver to Edmonton, and by the way, again, had to make weight at the end of all this. So I don't know what his process is. Maybe he's not that far above 145 anyway, but that sounds crazy to me. Oh, and then Ariel just added he was 15 pounds over when he arrived in Edmonton and made weight this morning. First guy to come up, hit the scale and made weight. 144.5, half
The
a
question
pound
is
under.
how much money do you make?
We don't know.
That's the question.
We are still, yes,
That's the
we've
money, yeah.
asked officials, we
You
don't
just
know.
do this for fun for the free Reebok shorts? I want to know. Like,
What a fun way to spend a trip.
People are saying if we're not going to fight, we should all arm wrestle, and I know I would lose that one too.
I have never won an arm wrestling match in my life.
You haven't arm wrestled me then.
Jose Youngs versus Alexander Kaline arm wrestling match. The tagline, someone has to win.
I would lose.
I don't think it's
What is the dance that Max is doing?
What?
When Max got up there and did like a little.
Oh, I don't know what it's called.
Should we ask the viewers?
Yeah, go watch our video of Max and Mini Bless dancing and tell us the names of the dances. Because I saw Mini Bless is doing a lot of the Fortnite dances,
Yes.
like the floss and all that stuff.
Mini
I
Blessed,
don't-
what you said.
Yeah, Mini.
Okay.
Mini what?
Mini Blessed.
Mini Blessed.
Yeah.
We've had this kind
Oh, sorry. I'm a classy. I'm from the streets, but I am a very classy man. I went to
Mini
college, so
Blessed.
I'm a very classy man. I live in Canada, and I like
So what's
to
Max Holloway's nickname?
Blessed.
Oh my God.
Max Blessed Holloway.
you also said process earlier. I was kind of.
Process?
When?
How do you say it? Like, what's the?
It depends who I'm talking to.
You're talking to a human.
Did I say process?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I said process. Yeah.
This is a process.
What do you like? Process? Process?
Speak American.
I have a Canadian accent.
You don't really have a Canadian.
No, I don't.
No dance answers yet. Someone said it's the friendly hair dance.
That's not what it's called.
This is
Definitely
like
not.
our live chat thing where I said, hey, people, be nice with your suggestions. Because we read out a lot of this stuff verbatim, so be nice with the stuff you type out. So
Let's see. More questions. So we're getting a lot of questions. Casey, you can weigh in. CM Punk versus Steve-O.
Oh, Punk. Yeah.
I would imagine.
Give Punk some credit.
Give
Yeah.
Punk some credit. He's
Give Punk.
actually trained. I don't know if Steve-O's trained at all. I genuinely don't know.
Yeah.
But we've gotten a lot of questions about that.
Now can he finish? Okay, Steve-O versus Punk in a pure kickboxing match. I still pick Punk, but I think Steve-O will last 15 minutes.
is he a
though.
kickboxer? Does he train like kickboxing? I don't know anything about Steve-O.
Well,
Couldn't tell.
no, not at all.
Oh, you just think? Because CM
well,
Punk's not like
I'm just saying
yeah.
on the ground he'll finish Steve-O relatively quickly. But understanding, I think Steve-O is tough enough to just get beat up for 15 minutes.
People are asking, when does the weigh-in start?
I have no clue. There's literally no way to find out.
Yeah.
It's-
The weigh-ins- there's 40 minutes left in these weigh-ins because all the fighters weighed in except for Hakeem Dawodu. Yeah, so we're just waiting on Hakeem Dawodu. Everyone else is weighed in. Everyone else has made weight. We did have a little technical difficulties, but we're going to get the clips out. But you can rewind all the way back and hear our commentary on all of it.
Yeah, it's been a successful day at the scale so far. Our only concerns really were, I know people are always concerned about Max. He doesn't look great sometimes on weigh-in day. I should remember, he's never missed weight. He's never missed 145.
No. When you don't show up, you miss weight.
Which one are we talking about?
Well, when he then he
You're talking
well, I guess
Habib.
I guess when they say concussion, right?
Oh, the concussion-like symptoms ahead of the what was the first Ortega? The first time he was booked for Ortega?
What, for Max?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was never
that was the only time he pulled out.
Well, that
fight
was
week,
never
like during actual fight week, right? That was-
officially.
I know it's not officially.
Okay, fair enough. He has historically had trouble. He's a tall.
At 155, he missed weight too.
He
Yeah, he didn't show
did
up.
not miss weight. The commission did not allow him to make the. They said he couldn't safely make the cut.
That's missing. That is missing weight.
I'm just saying. Well, and that's why we're talking about it. That's why I'm saying he's never officially missed weight, but there's a reason people were concerned.
I think
It's called the whoa.
The whoa?
Yes.
It's called the Holloway dance. It was called the Whoa.
Can we do
on
it?
the workouts?
Do it.
Do what?
Is it because
I
when you
don't-
do
I
it,
don't know
people
what that
go,
is.
whoa.
Is that it? Can you get on? Are you on camera?
Whoa.
Lean over and get on camera. I'm not doing it.
Why not?
I dance for fun, not for show.
This isn't fun. Talking to our MMA fighting viewers is not fun.
Talking with our viewers is always fun. Them seeing me dance is not going to be fun.
Oh, I agree. It's gonna
No,
be funny.
No, that's a good
Which
one.
is fun.
I don't want to.
Nate Diaz versus Anthony Pettis. Does the winner throw a wrench into the welterweight title picture?
Only if
I
Nate
hadn't even
wins.
thought about that.
Only if Nate wins.
I agree. I would agree. Nate Diaz is a big enough name that he can. If he beats Anthony Pettis in a 3-round fight, he's gonna throw a wrench in everything. Max versus Edgar. Winner gets Alex at 243. I mean, that would make sense. Might be a quick turnaround, right?
I'm sorry, repeat that question. I blacked out for a second.
The
I'm sorry.
winner of Max versus Frankie gets Alexander Volkanovski at UFC 243.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Melbourne.
yeah.
Might be a quick
yeah.
turnaround.
It might be a quick turnaround, but let's not
Well,
overthink
we also
this.
have to, because like for all we know, it's going to be a bloodbath and we get 6 months medical suspensions.
Yeah.
I don't like making fights till the fights happen because someone can also get hurt. Like you saw Kamar Usman beat Tyron Woodley. Now he's on the shelf for
Yep.
knee surgery.
Cejudo, right? He's on the shelf. We don't know when he's gonna be back, right? So.
Absolutely. Sabit. A lot of questions about Sabit. Ariel Helwani sitting right behind us.
Sorry, I'll continue saying the only people we were concerned about with weight today was Holloway and Sarah Frota, who again made because again she had missed last time at strawweight, but now 125 looks good.
Cyborg, I'm never concerned that she'll miss
No,
weight,
it's definitely
but
not an easy cut.
It's definitely not an easy
No,
cut.
no, no, no,
45?
no.
Yeah.
It's not an easy
It's
cut.
been a long time since she's missed weight. It's been a long time.
How much would we love it if she went to the next PFL season? Let's say that this current PFL lightweight tournament goes as that league is hoping it will, and Kayla Harrison wins. How great would it be if she returned to defend her title in the tournament and Cyborg was also in that tournament?
It's a thing.
How great would that be, EKC Light? How exciting would that be?
Why would it be great if Cyborg's in PFL?
It'd be cool, man. Because they actually have a lightweight division. She could just go up to 155. We don't worry about this weight cut nonsense. She gets to fight Kayla, who's been wanting to fight. Who's of course everyone's saying, why can't she fight Cyborg? And it's like
She become a millionaire if she wins.
she become a millionaire, $1 million. Fine. It's a terrible idea. Casey didn't like it.
You don't want Cyborg in PFL?
I just want to see Cyborg fight. I don't.
Yes.
I want to see her. I want to see her fight in a place that she's happy fighting in.
Okay. Yeah.
That's all. That's all.
I think she'd be happy in
seems to
PFL.
she keeps calling out Bellator fighters on Twitter.
We haven't seen Cyborg Julia Budd, who I think Julia Budd's the second best featherweight in the world.
Yeah. After that last one
Well, I'm
was
sorry,
convincing.
second or third. I mean, I don't know.
Amanda's really good.
Man, knock
Yeah.
Julia Budd out.
Yeah.
And Cyborg.
Long time ago.
But this is the question I want to know. If Spencer defeats Cyborg, I don't think Nunes is going to fight Spencer. I don't think that fight's going to happen. I think.
Ooh.
I would agree.
Yeah, I think he might be right.
That's why this fight kind of makes very little sense. I just don't think that fight's happening. Nunes Spencer.
I like the fight just as a match. The thing for me is I don't always.
Of course, as a matchup, yeah. Of course, I want to see.
Yeah. I know you're talking about like title implications and the future of the division.
I'm talking
and,
about
yeah.
UFC making money
Sure.
and the risk.
Wow.
The risk for Nunes.
For some of us, that's not our number one concern, Casey. I know you're all about that cheddar and the UFC being profitable, but our fans don't always care about that stuff. Sometimes our fans care about the purity of the sport.
Oh, I forgot about that a long time ago.
Casey has been in this business a long time. I think people know I'm still relatively new. I'm still fresh. I'm in my honeymoon period with covering MMA. And, Casey's seen it all, man. Casey.
Let's see more questions. PFL Cyborg is a good thing.
Cool.
Thank you. Who said that?
We're getting a lot of comments.
Was that 8-Ball Rocco?
about Trolley Helwani in the background.
Oh my god! I didn't even. Oh my gosh.
Question for Ariel Helwani: do you own any other shirts? Yeah, of course. We've got a few comments about the shirts. Oh yeah. They also saw
Gosh, I
Mark
saw
walk
right through
by.
us.
So it goes.
Wow.
Wow.
Damn, he's still bringing that heat.
Remember when we
He's
were
still
friends
bringing
with
that
Mark
heat.
and Remember when we used to be friends?
I'm glad I already talked crap about him on the stream ahead
That's
of time.
so funny.
Like, yeah, I didn't hold back already, so it's good. I said my piece about he who shall not be named. How do I position myself best to block his face?
You can see it right here.
Oh, I don't care about Ariel. I love Ariel's on the stream.
Oh,
it's the
right,
other
right,
guy.
right.
Oh, jeez. It's
Sure,
the
sure,
other
sure.
guy. That, yeah.
Oh, right. Should DC, the winner of DC Stipe, fight Ngannou for the title next? Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, hey, look, it's a fair
No,
question.
and that if DC wins, it's totally on him. If he's gonna retire or is he gonna take
If
that
Stipe
risk?
wins, they could do a trilogy. Even Francis said at the red carpet, the only thing that would throw a wrench in, if Stipe does win, he could see the UFC want to do a trilogy between Stipe and DC.
Yeah,
That is true.
yeah.
That is true. 'Cause I can see DC coming back for the Stipe fight because obviously that'd be
Sure.
If
Lucrative.
if DC loses, obviously there's a lot of money in that.
Lucrative.
He also gave Stipe the rematch, so I would imagine Stipe would. Imagine if Stipe took a fight and made DC wait, like Stipe, like DC did.
That would be-
Stipe defeats DC. Then Stipe defends against John Jones. John Jones defeats Stipe. DC defeats John Jones at heavyweight.
Right.
Has there been no
I
John
caught it.
Jones questions or comments?
There have been a lot about Jones DC and Jones versus the winner of DC Stipe.
I'm surprised. I thought there'd just be a lot more. I don't know.
There were a lot of questions about his situation going on.
Okay, I was gonna say anyway. Again, I mean, we can't really comment on it. It's an ongoing thing. But I don't know. All I want to say is like people. There's no need. This is me reacting to comments made on our website. There's no need to take sides in these situations. I don't know why people say it need, like when these stories come up, people are like, oh, I'm on John Jones' side, or I'm on the side of the whoever's the alleged victim. It's like you don't need to take sides. You can comment on the story and you don't have to take some stance. It's ongoing. We don't know. It's true. We don't know the truth. We don't know the truth. This is a sensitive matter, and I would ask our MMA fans to handle it with their usual class and aplomb.
Casey's just laughing.
Our blessed readers, I would ask that they show some restraint, please, and wait till there's more facts.
Well said. So now to go in the complete opposite direction. Casey, another question for you.
Okay, that's again.
Could one CM Punk size, so Anthony Johnson, when he's in his prime, just knocking people out.
At 205.
Could two Anthony Johnson sized CM Punks beat one CM Punk sized Anthony Johnson? So if you took CM Punk, made him as big as Anthony Johnson, made two of them, could they beat one small Anthony Johnson?
CM Punk's a great dude. I'm very
We love CM
I'm
Punk.
happy for the guy. I'm
So
happy.
am I.
I made some cash, and I have to go
But
with
that
some work.
question jumped out at me. It's a very interesting question.
So wait, two CM Punk sized Anthony Johnsons
Yeah.
versus
No. So two Anthony Johnson sized CM Punks.
Anthony Johnson sized CM Punk. Wait,
Fine.
so welterweight Anthony Johnson?
So like Anthony Johnson was when he started his
so
UFC.
CM Punk is now as tall and as big as Anthony Johnson, and there's two of them. Could they beat one welterweight Anthony Johnson?
This is a trippy question.
See, it's a weird question.
Okay,
Are they suggesting?
no,
Are they
no.
suggesting that Anthony Johnson is not a skilled fighter? I'm confused.
don't.
No. Well, you know what? The Anthony Johnson that maybe because if he's the size of CM Punk, I'm assuming he's gonna gas out in 2 minutes. Because that was always welterweight Anthony Johnson, because in 2 minutes because the weight cut was
So weight
insane.
cut, is it weight cut Anthony Johnson, or are we just shooting like a shrink ray to shrink him down?
I'm assuming weight cut Anthony Johnson, and weight cut Anthony Johnson. Yeah. CM, whatever the CM Punk CM Punk would defeat. Yeah, this is stupid.
This is stupid.
Okay, so there's 30 minutes left in the morning weigh-ins, and we are
still
still just waiting for Hakeem Dawodu.
I call him Hakeem Dawodu, but I've been corrected as
Again,
Hakeem Dawodu.
I mean, it's easier to say, but yeah, I've been told it is Dawodu. Dawodu. I'm sorry, Hakeem. We're just waiting on Hakeem to weigh in. He's the last one. He has to make 145. 145? Yeah, 145. And we got 30 minutes left, so we don't know if he's just waiting till the last minute. Some guys just sleep in. Like I don't think there's any major concern about him making weight, as far as I know.
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah,
He's never
so
been one of those risks.
no issues there so far. So some guys just sleep in. Again, if they know they're on weight, they're comfortable. They're like heavyweights. Usually it's heavyweights that do that all the time.
Yeah.
They'll roll in at like 10 minutes to remaining.
Overeem famously got fined.
I remember, but he actually came in like after. Didn't he miss?
No, Overeem didn't miss weight.
No, but he missed the deadline.
Yeah,
didn't
and he got fines like $100.
he? Yeah. So, usually it's heavyweights because they know they're going to make. So, again, Hakeem might be in the same situation he knows he's going to make. So, I really don't have any reason.
Overeem showed up at like 11:05 or something like that.
I remember, and I was like, is he going to miss weight? But everyone was saying the same thing. Like, no, he's just probably sleeping in. And
Any more questions? We're still getting. Hey, eat that croissant and then get on the scale.
I honestly don't want
People
to-
were very upset when you picked up that croissant and didn't eat it.
I'm going to eat it.
People were also very concerned that your hands were sticky after that.
No. I know how to handle a croissant when I'm on a broadcast. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to grab
People
like a
were like,
middle of
put his
it.
hands, get him a napkin.
And then I was typing away. They're probably worried about my keyboard. Like, oh, his keyboard must be disgusting right now.
Oh, Esther Lynn coming
I
in
did
hot.
not touch. Thank you, Esther. Esther just surprised them. My hands are not sticky. I will eat, but I believe, again, I went to school. I believe we were told in broadcasting classes, try to avoid eating when you're on the air. I know this is a casual show. We're all having a good time. You guys are eating at home. Probably you guys aren't even wearing pants, but we are on camera. We need to maintain some decorum.
Casey and Esther are the best things in MMA.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's
All
not a question.
Stream's over. We're good.
That's not a question.
Who has better hair, Jose or Justin Bieber?
I can't
Justin
tell the difference.
Whoa. I think Justin Bieber has shaved head now, though.
I can't tell the
He
difference.
also has an eyebrow piercing.
Are you?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. I just imagine, like, if someone told me to draw a picture of you, I would put an eyebrow piercing on you.
Why? I don't want that
How are
reputation going
How are
around.
people disrespect? Look, I don't have long flowing hair, but this is a tight cut, all right? Yo, Creations TO. Shout out Creations TO for taking care of your boy here. So I gotta shout out my people.
There you go. Kaylee is the GOAT.
Wow. That's a bit of an exaggeration.
A GOAT emoji.
That's a bit of an exaggeration. This month is like my 2-year anniversary at MMA fighting, so thank you for any compliments, but I'm clearly just the beginning of my journey. That was so corny. I'm
Still-
sorry. You're right. I am the best.
Still more questions about Zabit versus Yair. I mean, I love that.
That's
fight.
a-
they
that's
were
such a
they
good
were
matchup.
matched up before on that Dallas card.
I
and
would-
fell off.
Well, that was the whole thing. That was when they released.
And they brought back Yair for that
Yeah.
fight.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone basically accused Yair of ducking and you're not a real fighter.
That's why he really wants to fight Zabit.
Who wins?
Ah, man. I'd honestly might favor Yair.
I'm going Yair.
Really?
I'm going Yair.
Both of you. I think Zabit.
I think Zabit is unbelievable, but he's had a lot of opponents that have like maybe fallen off, and like he should have gotten this big test. So like
question of
him beating-
competition.
Him beating Jeremy Stevens was no joke.
Yes.
But Jeremy Stevens, I believe, has the most losses in UFC history.
He's also kind of a gatekeeper, which is not an insult.
He'll be there.
I think Stevens is right. Unfortunately for Stevens, he's obviously very good.
He's really good.
He's improved, but he can't get. He's that top 5 gatekeeper, unfortunately.
So like he'll be like 7 or 8.
Yeah, he's not like a top. There's like top 15 gatekeepers, top 10s, top
10, yeah.
5s. He's a top
Contenders
5. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. And like, obviously he's super good.
Yeah, I mean he's had an amazing career.
That's
Yeah.
more a reflection of the depth at 45.
Yep, Jerry Stevens is a great fighter. Yair's definitely fought the better fighters. But yeah, I think Zabit's on the rise. That's so good.
All right,
Oh, man.
here you go. Alexander Kaylee wants Casey's mustache, Jose's hair, and Ariel's nose.
What?
Alex would rather have Casey's mustache, Jose's hair, and Ariel's. Or
Oh,
Ariel's nose.
by
who would you
far.
rather- which one would you rather have?
By far, Casey's mustache. I cannot
I think
grow.
that's the answer.
I cannot grow facial hair. I might be able to grow like a little bit of hair on top. I could never have it as glorious as Jose, but I could have hair. I can't grow hair here. It's embarrassing. Thankfully, I hope these cameras aren't too HD because like there's like a little bit of fuzz. It is embarrassing. This situation here. So
I think that's the answer. Casey.
I'd love to have a mustache. Oh my gosh. I would kill.
Still waiting on Akeem Dawodu. This room is cleared out.
Yeah. ESPN was like, we don't need this.
ESPN, okay, ESPN, legit. Yeah, we talk about full coverage of MMA. Look, ESPN wrapped it up. Not MMA fighting.
We don't wrap.
Because
We
it's
never wrap.
MMA, and that's what we care
We got
about.
nowhere to be.
Like ESPN, no one even knows what ESPN stands for. ESPN, there's no, you can't put ESPN MMA, no.
Entertainment Sports Programming Network, is that what it stands for?
No, it stands, we don't cover all the weigh-ins.
Oh, I don't think those are the same letters, but.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, let me sketch that one out.
There's literally no way to find out.
Casey, what kind of razor do you use?
Huh?
Good.
Someone's asking what kind of
We need a
razor.
little inside baseball here.
Oh, what's that?
Phillips One Blade.
One
But I
blade.
I have scissors and a cone. I have like little scissors.
Oh, he says no. So he's saying no razor. He's
Shout out to
For
King
the mustache,
Duado.
yeah, it's like little scissors. I have a little bag, a little mustache bag.
no shortcuts. No short. If you want to have a mustache like Casey, there's no shortcuts.
Let's see. Dustin Poirier versus Korean Zombie rematch? That's what someone asked. But there's
any
different
day.
weight classes.
The different weight classes now. They're
That's
definitely on
my-
different arcs as far as where
That's
they're
my-
heading.
There's so many great matchups that's just not necessary.
Yeah.
They already had a great fight. Why run it
Poirier
back?
Zombie 1 is my favorite fight ever.
It was an amazing fight.
That's my favorite.
There's like no need.
It was also in like, wasn't that in like?
You're only gonna
North-
get disappointed. There's no way it's gonna. I mean, if it tops it, cool.
Fairfax?
But yeah,
Wasn't that in like Virginia or something, or West Virginia or something?
Fabulous Roanoke.
What?
Fabulous Roanoke, Virginia.
Roanoke.
No, in Roanoke.
That's where it was?
I'm
Oh.
Was it?
No, hold on. Sorry. Let me. Hold on, people. We have the Fairfax.
Called it.
Yeah.
Same thing.
They had it in there.
Not to my knowledge. Maybe like pre-UFC, like pre-Zuffa. I'd go to that. See all the ghosts.
Yeah, that was a great win for Zombie too because
I got him with a darts choke, which is just
after a back and forth fight too.
off a flying knee.
I think people didn't know how good Zombie was. I think he was kind of still like a novelty at the time. But like, how good is this guy really? Like, oh, he can take a lot of punishment, blah blah. That win over Poirier. They were both kind
He
of.
also
up and coming.
knocked out Hominick in 7 seconds.
Was that before Poirier? No, don't worry. We're sharing.
I was using it to cross.
Yeah, I gave him permission to use it. See, it's serious business. It's no joke. That was after the Hominick. I'm sorry, that was after the Hominick. Yeah. I should know that. That was in Toronto.
And then his next fight was Aldo, right? In
Yeah.
Brazil. He dislocated his
He
shoulder.
was a replacement for someone though. He wasn't the original for the
right.
Aldo.
I can't remember who it was. Though.
I'm just looking it up now. He was supposed to fight. Oh gosh,
Honest?
Anthony Pettis. Aldo,
that's
that
right.
fight that never happened.
Forgot about that.
That was such
They
a high
took, they
fight time.
took straight out
man.
picks on the beach.
What?
Aldo Pettis was the original fight, and then Pettis got hurt, and Zombie filled in.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. Aldo Zombie is the fight I eventually want to see a rematch for.
same.
Oh yeah, I think so. Even a 3-rounder, I think would be. Yeah, cool.
Korean Zombie also said like he liked Brazil, but it was like tough for him because he's coming from Korea to Brazil on short notice. Like the
Holy crap.
diet is different, the weather's different. He said he'd rather would have come like earlier to acclimatize.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So I would have liked to see like fresh full camp Zombie versus Jose Aldo. He was picking up the pace at the end until his shoulder fell off.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if he would have won the fight, but it wasn't a bad showing at all. I mean, it was not a bad showing.
I hope people can see what's going on behind me.
I don't acknowledge these things that happen outside of our bubble. I care about MMA fighting,
That's fair.
and maybe I was gonna say something nice about anyone, but I thought Oscar Willis was around.
Someone will give you $20,000 to throw that croissant at someone.
Specifically, like Ariel Helwani.
It says 20,000 USD to throw a croissant. Oh no!
I caught it. You all saw it. I caught that, and now I'm gonna eat it.
What has happened to this stream? 20 minutes.
I hit mute so that
Good gosh.
I'm sorry.
Someone goes, take a bite of the croissant.
Good. I'm muted. I don't want to eat.
Let's see. Is Stylebender the best? Ooh, good. This is an interesting question. Is Stylebender the best personality in the UFC? Who's the best personality?
I like Israel. I do. I don't like him as much as you do,
Yeah.
but I like Israel.
I just think he's a good fighter.
He's unique. Personality-wise, he's unique. I give him that. He's very comfortable in every media situation, with scrum, one-on-one. Like, he's very comfortable with that stuff. I raised this a long time ago. Like, who in MMA is like truly charismatic? And I raised that question because a lot of people that's how they'd been describing Israel. And I'm like, who is like truly charismatic in MMA? And it's a very short list. And by the way, charismatic doesn't necessarily mean like a good personality. It means, engaging, for better or for worse. Because like Conor McGregor, I would of course say is charismatic, whether you like him or not. I think the way he talks and his behavior, it attracts attention. And that's a hard thing to do. And the more people you can attract, I'd say the more charismatic you are. So is Israel someone who I think attracts a lot of attention?
We'll get Casey.
But like
question.
mainstream, I don't know.
What's the question?
Is Israel Adesanya the best personality in the UFC right now?
He is, but he is way too real.
It's too real.
He's too real for the sport.
Yeah, he is.
Like people don't want real. People want Conor.
Yes.
I'm not saying Conor.
There's elements of his personality that are definitely not real.
Yeah. Izzy's a real dude, a complicated dude, multi-layered dude, and that's too much for the sport. That's my.
Who do I think is charismatic?
He is one of the most full. I don't know. I got it. Just not complex, but just most layered. Yeah, Izzy, just layered person I've met in the sport.
Really good with the media.
Yeah, and really good at media without bullshitting. I always, I've been working in MMA 13 years now, making a living, and Izzy's one of the top guys I've ever met as far as just like being a fighter and just being like a very interesting person.
Sorry, I'm silent now because I'm just looking through names. Like, who is charismatic? Johnny Walker might be getting there. There's a charisma there with Johnny Walker. Again, maybe like even just his behavior, not necessarily. I don't know his interviews and stuff, but there's maybe Johnny Walker. Maybe I think people would agree with that. Who is charismatic? I don't think there's a lot of genuinely charismatic people in MMA. In most sports, I would say I don't think there's a lot of genuinely charismatic people.
Daniel Cormier can be pretty charismatic.
I think so too. I think he's underrated. I know he's a geek, but
no, DC definitely. DC's
right?
definitely up there.
I think so.
But unfortunately for me, I think the more DC moves up the ladder, the more money is involved, the more he has to watch his mouth because he has a lot of masters now who write checks for him.
Yes,
That's
true.
I mean, that's just how it works.
Sure.
So almost as I agree, Johnny Walker.
Yeah, I think. Is that my boy? Who is that? Oh, Okash MMA picks. Okay, we just promoted him, but that's why I was hesitant. But hey, you know what? He complimented me, so I'm happy to promote him.
Mac just got here. Mac's on weight. Yes, everyone has made weight. We're literally only waiting on Hakeem Dawodu. I think Casey was saying this is one of the faster weigh-ins we've ever had. The weigh-ins were done in like
About 35 minutes.
35 minutes, except for Hakeem Dawodu.
Yeah.
And so we've been having to fill time.
Yeah.
If you want to rewind a little bit for those tuning in, you can watch Casey fire a fastball off a croissant at Alex's face.
Yeah, it's about 10 minutes back, which I caught. For the record, I caught it. If this was dodgeball, you'd be out, brother.
Oh, this is dodgeball.
Yeah.
Oh, we weren't playing dodgeball. though.
And guess what? The croissant is delicious. So you lost twice.
No, I helped you out. I was like,
Oh, okay. Oh, we were working together this whole time?
I was like, hey, Alex, you hungry? Here's some food.
You did not say that.
This is tasty.
That's not on camera. There's no proof that you said that. I think you just said, like, take this or something.
Yeah, take this wonderful croissant, you jerk.
In your face.
Enjoy these carbs.
Well, I apologize. I apologize. Casey was trying to help me out. I misinterpreted it. That's on me.
Johnny Walker versus Reyes, but Reyes is fighting Chris Weidman in Boston, so that's a no.
That's an odd one, eh?
Do not like that fight.
No, that's an odd one.
Yeah.
Do not like that fight.
Casey was not happy with that one. Best personality in the UFC is Dana White.
Who?
Dana White. That's what this person says.
Those are words.
That's a sentence. Right. Casey earned that $20,000 for throwing that croissant. Maybe later. I can't eat in chat. Johnny Walker versus Reyes. Dominic Reyes is fighting Chris Weidman in Boston, so he can't fight Johnny Walker.
I wanted Weidman to fight like a bottom tier 205.
Yeah, you want him to fight like Ed Herman, right?
Like Ed Herman coming off a good win after Patrick Cummins. I felt that Ed Herman still thinks that he's a legit dude. So, and I feel that's it was a good fight for both of them. I don't. I think people need. I think the world needs a reminder how good Chris Weidman is, and
He's been in what was the last one? It was Kelvin Gastelum, right?
Kelvin, yeah. But even
That fight against Jacare was really
super
good.
super good.
They were just slinging leather the whole
That
time
was awesome.
to the very end.
Yeah,
Just stalking each other down.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of that.
Dominic Reyes is 6'4". How tall is Chris Weidman? He can't be taller than 6'2". 6'2", I was gonna say. Yeah.
Not that much.
No, I guess it's not that bad, but I don't like this matchup at all.
Let's say we have a tournament with all the people on screen right now, including Ariel, who wins. Not me, probably Casey. He trains. There you go, Yair. Oh, there you go. Yair versus Jeremy Stevens.
Ariel.
We just got a breaking tweet.
Breaking news from right behind us.
Right behind us, Ariel
From right
Helwani.
behind us.
Yair, people talking about Yair and Jeremy Stevens. We just talked about them a lot, but apparently, according to Ariel Helwani, September 21st, Mexico City. So that's an exciting fight.
I like that.
That's a good one.
Is not the fight to make. The fight to make was Ryan Hall versus Jeremy Stevens. This fight
All
is
right.
trash.
We will not be getting
It's
Ryan
a good
Hall.
fight, obviously,
We're
but
reportedly
it's
not
a fight I
getting
wanted.
Ryan Hall versus Jeremy Stevens. So, but there you go. There's some news. There's some news for you guys. See, this is why we're on air all the time.
No. We have not confirmed this. This is only
No, we
one
have not,
source.
but-
This is only one source.
One very reliable source, one highly respected source. Okay.
Wyman versus Rockhold 2? Question mark.
Yeah, still, yeah.
Not now.
Down the road. Not now. No.
Has
Down the road,
Rockwood
yeah.
even made a statement at Austin's the loss and stuff?
He's laying low.
He broke his jaws.
He's laying real low.
Yeah, he's still tight though. Yeah, that's.
I picked Rockhold to win that fight. By the way,
too.
I'm.
Me too. Why wouldn't you? I mean, it's.
He's very skilled.
Yeah. It's just,
But defensively, there's a lot of question marks now, for sure. A lot of question marks.
All right, Yair versus Jeremy. Yep, Yair versus Jeremy. A lot of Yair versus Jeremy.
I'm still trying to figure out who I consider to be charismatic. I know that's a mean thing to say about like the MMA fighters that I don't think they're charismatic.
actually,
but
Ronda.
she
Most
was.
charismatic?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Again,
Absolutely.
much like McGregor, love her or hate her, she was really
Ronda
good
was
with
incredibly charismatic. Yeah.
the talkie.
I don't know much. I
technical
don't know
term.
much truth came out. Sometimes I felt like the bigger she got, the more, like I said, like she's worried about other things, like your sponsors, your pay-per-view sales, but especially in her Strikeforce run, because at the time I covered Strikeforce a lot. I was at all her events, and she was a dynamic personality, absolutely dynamic.
Yeah. You would have known at that time that she's gonna be, if she went, like she's gonna be a huge, like,
Yeah, absolutely.
for
yeah.
sure.
First interview,
Yeah.
like it was just a matter of her winning, but like just her smile, just her presence.
Yep.
Yeah, she just like when you always like the it factor, like within like 15 seconds of meeting Ron, you're like, oh crap, that's a person that just as long as she wins,
I bet MMA fans are recoiling right now at all this positive Ronda talk. They do not appreciate Ronda anymore. I think she is persona non grata in the MMA community after her, pro wrestling, WrestleMania.
I mean, there's definitely critiques on her and the way she decided, toward her end of her career.
Yeah, and I mean, and again, just personality-wise, there's a lot of. I'm sure anyone who's followed her.
Most
will know.
charismatic, Hannah Cyphers.
Hannah Cypher seems like
Hannah, yes sir, Cyphers.
she seems like a sweet lady.
She's great.
She
No.
can lift a tractor.
She can.
I believe it. Yeah.
Hannah Cyphers is the reason, not her in particular, but she's the reason I still love this sport, because there's so many different types of freaking people in this sport, and all of a sudden, and Hannah Cyphers walked down, I'm like, I've never met someone like you, and you're gonna go fight in a cage. This is,
All right, here we go, Hakeem Dawodu. So say bye to us as we whip this camera around to see Hakeem Dawodu. Bye, everybody. Got a nice sneak behind the scenes of early morning weigh-ins here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
How much time do you have?
10 minutes. Diaz.
Give you 10 more minutes.
Much thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Michael Caine.
Hakeem has won his last 2 fights.
He lost his first one to
He
Henry?
did in
What's
39 seconds in his
submission,
debut.
right?
Yeah, he
That
was
was in
heavily
London.
favored in that
Yeah,
fight too.
that was
yeah.
in London, though.
It was.
Yeah.
Since he's been back, he got to fight in Alberta, Ontario. He's been back in Canada and won a couple of decisions. So this is
World Series of Fighting standout.
World Series of Fighting. Yeah, that's right. So he's only fought for 2 promotions: World Series of Fighting, UFC. So he's been competing
Does
at.
he have a draw in there somewhere, right?
He does. I'm looking at Marat Magomedov. But this is a kind of a sneaky big fight for him. This is like the kind of fight that if he drops it, it raises questions how much of a prospect is he. I think he's a very legitimate prospect. Again, technically really sound for a guy with he's only in his 11th, this will be his 12th pro fight, this weekend. So a convincing win here really makes it a statement for him in a very loaded division. And I'm not saying he's a contender or anything, but certainly moves him up out of the kind of the lower prospect tier, I think.
Say he does come out victorious. What's a good matchup you'd like to see?
Let me hit my, you know what, I'm the worst at this, at coming up on the spot, but I have a list, I have a magical list that I refer to. So after
This list is pretty
it's
pretty blessed.
I rank everyone.
Whoa.
Accuracy may vary. I would like to see him fight.
This isn't just UFC, is it?
It's just UFC.
Okay. Oh, this is every featherweight.
You know who would be good? So here's who I have in this range. Alex Caceres. Maybe a little too veteran for him, but again,
Ooh.
but I mean, Caceres is a guy they match up with.
Hakeem Duatu
Yeah.
wins. Duatu versus Caceres.
But Bruce Leroy, they'll match up with anyone. That's the thing. That's a great guy, but
I'm
great thing about having him around.
Bruce Leroy's, his fight against Yair was really fun.
One that Alex dropped. No.
I was gonna eat that. Casey
Looks
ate my
like
mic.
you got some movement.
That's what people want.
Literally, people are begging for you guys. to
Casey
fight.
just ate a pastry that I claimed. Sorry, people couldn't see that, but I should have licked it.
This is the best pastry I've ever had.
He just says the best pastry he's ever had. He's rubbing it right in my face.
So loud.
And by the way, he's eating as poor Akeem's about to come out here and make weight. What a jerk! What a jerk Casey is.
This person goes, I wish Esther was on this stream.
I'm here in spirit.
She's here,
Esther is here in
and she's
spirit.
thinking about all of you.
No, I'm not.
No, she's not. So she said she's not. Sorry, my earlier report was incorrect. She does not think about all of you.
What is? I'm seeing movement. I don't see it.
Other prospects that he could fight. Bryce Mitchell. That'd be a fun one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Arkansas.
Yep.
Bobby Moffett.
Oh, I have here. Bobby Mott. Where is he? What happened? He beats
Ryan Hall.
He beat Skelly.
He's Skelly.
He beat Skelly, right?
Yeah, but
Moffat,
that was
the
that weird
controversial,
submission.
yeah.
that was
controversial
the
sub.
Denver card. And
Yeah,
Skelly said he would only, try and argue it if Moffat would get to keep his win bonus.
That was
He didn't
really
want-
nice.
He didn't want to take
Yeah,
money
that
out
was
of
super
Bobby
class.
Moffat's pockets.
Other than that, like I
this
said,
is interesting.
I
Dan
ha-
Ige would be good too. He's on. Well, Dan Ige's on a little bit of a run too.
Unofficially, the UFC has something like 70 to 80 featherweights contracted, so Akeem's kind of in the lower. So this would only bump into the upper half. It's like, I don't think there's any crazy matchmaking we need to make for
Fighting
him.
at 145, Hakeem Dawodu.
Hakeem Dawodu, last man to weigh in. Calgary's own. Looks ready to get this over with. For Hakeem Dawodu. He is absolutely ecstatic to me. You could tell that was a rough cut for him. He was struggling to make weight. He hit the scale, he made it, and he is absolutely ecstatic. Hakeem Dawodu makes weight, and just like that, every single
That's
person,
it, we're done.
every single person in UFC 240 has made weight. I was going to cross it off, but what's the point? Well, for Jose Youngs and Alexander Cayley, that is your pen. We're signing off. You can stick over at MMAfighting.com, go to UFC.com/MMA
Oh, we're back in
Fighting, Twitter.com/MMA Fighting, MMA Fighting DOTCOM on Instagram. And for Jose, Alex, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you later for the preview show.
You'll see a lot more of us.
And then we got the fights on Saturday. See you then.